Good morning. My name is Beatrice Scott, and I would like to speak to you briefly about Psalms 91, verses 4 through 6. The entire book of Psalms is compiled with themes of trust, deliverance, the faithfulness of God towards his people, Israel, his undying devotion for Israel. The writers of Psalms is not attributed to one specific writer. However, the majority of the Psalms was written by David. You know, David the shepherd boy, David the musician, David the warrior, and David the king of Israel. And David was also a devoted father whose profound love, devotion, and intense trust in God delivered him from more battles than we can count. The writer of Psalms 91 has surely experienced or heard of God's faithfulness towards his people Israel. Psalm 91 is a psalm of trust, a psalm of dependence. We trust God to do exactly what he said he'll do. We trust that he will follow through on his promises of protection, his promises of deliverance in times of trouble, and his faithfulness to hide and shield his people. David was a man after God's own heart. However, David had many flaws. He was a murderer. He was a flawed king, but he was also a courageous leader. The life of David is summarized out of 1st and 2nd Samuel. David didn't always pray, but he knew how to pray. Many believers today do not always pray, but we know how to pray, especially when one of our children or loved ones encounter situations that's larger than, now I lay me down to sleep. Never does the psalmist infer or state that those who trust in the Lord will never experience suffering in this lifetime. Psalm 23, which we faithfully refer to as the 23rd Psalm, reminds us that when we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we will fear no evil. Why? Because the Lord is with us, with me. And you know I paraphrase that scripture. We fear those we don't know, strangers from foreign lands. We fear whatever is lurking in the darkness. We fear all wise superstitions. We fear non-compliance to 400-year-old traditions. God is described in Psalms 91 as a mother hen, and I like that. What are some of the characteristics or a characteristic of a mother hen? A mother hen, she's protected. She provides shelter for her little ones. She battles the prowlers. She allows her chicks to venture, but not too far. So, what shall we say? Could this be life application? It is all about dwelling in safety and security. When we are tired, when we are afraid, when we are sad, we all want a place of safety where we can run to and hide. When we feel lonely, and again, we need a shelter. We need our safe place. We need a place where only we or us or me as an individual can go and hide. So we can take refuge in the presence of the Lord, knowing that nothing can separate us from God. So what shall we say? If God is for us, who would dare to come against us? This is in Romans 8, verses 31 through 39. I thank you for allowing me to share a little bit about me and about my God with you. For God is truly a shield, a protector, a buckler. He's faithful to his word. That is not dependent upon you or me or our goodness or how great or how small others may be. This is totally dependent upon God's grace. Again, thank you for allowing me to share with you, and have a great day.